Okay, what are you missing on the worksheet, Morris? Yes.
The one right after 56,
Opportunities. What else?
The one before turnaround.
The one before turnaround is grace, symbolizes grace. What else? Everybody else have everything else?
Christianity is not a playground, it's a
Battleground. Anything else? Don't be ashamed. Yes.
So, Samson, like us, is strong and
Lead a woman. Lead. Lead.
Lead.
Lead.
Thank you.
Not believe.
The one after
Lead.
lead.
The one after lead, closer to God. Anything else? No? Okay. So, just by raise of hands without going into it, how many of you related? Okay. Well, you know, we do at some point or another, unless you're a super Christian, which I'm sure there are a couple of them out there, we walk away at some point. And it may not be what you may have even heard defined as apostasy, of walking away, which literally means to walk away, but just to do something that's totally not the right thing to do, and you know it. You know? I guess the best terminology I could use would be backsliding. You know? Just, even if it's just for an hour. I'm going to just backslide. I'm going to be right. You know, remember last time we met, we talked about being in the box, right? God's presence is right here, so I'm going to be right back, God. I'm going to be right. Shh, shh. Turn your head. Turn your head. I don't want you to see this. And you know you can't look upon sin anyway. And then you go, hey, I'm back. I'm back. I'm going to church. We'll go to the prayer partners. And we'll go up to the altar. It doesn't matter if it's for an hour. It doesn't matter if it's for 15 minutes. We did something that we know we shouldn't have done. We've got to turn around, you know. But you've heard me say before, you know, we can't play God. And what I mean by that is not you taking on the role of being God, but don't play him. Don't keep doing the same things over and over, because, you know, the fear of God is the beginning of understanding. You better know that he don't play. He loves us. He's got grace for us. But don't ever, you ever hear that terminology? Don't ever mistake kindness for weakness. God is about the kindest out there. But don't ever think or mistake that for his weakness, because he is anything but weak. So if you go into that first part of the discussion, earlier in the video, Craig said men don't ruin their lives all at once. They do it one step at a time. And an illustration that's found in Proverbs 7:6-27, it's there in your worksheet. It says, for at the window of my house I looked through my lattice, and saw among the simple I perceived among the youths a young man devoid of understanding, passing along the street near her corner. And he took the path to her house, in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark of night. And there was a woman met him, with the attire of a harlot and a crafty heart. She was loud and rebellious, and her feet would not stay at home. At times she was outside, at times in the open square, lurking at every corner. So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face she said to him, I have peace offerings with me. Today I have paid my vows, so I came out to meet you diligently to seek your face, and I have found you. I've spread my bed with tapestry, colored coverings of Egyptian linen. I've perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let's take our fill of love until morning. Let's delight ourselves in love. For my husband is not at home. He's gone on a long journey. He's taken a bag of money with him and will come home on the appointed day. And with her enticing speech, she caused him to yield. With her flattering lips, she seduced him. Immediately, he went after her as an ox goes to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks, till an arrow struck his liver as a bird hastens to the snare. He didn't know it would cost his life. Now, therefore, listen to me, my children. Pay attention to the words of my mouth. Do not let your heart turn aside to her ways. Do not stray into her paths, for she has cast down many wounded, and all who were slain by her were strong men. Her house is the way to what? Hell. Descending to the chambers of death. You know, bottom line is this. I don't care if you're single, I don't care if you're married, I don't care if you're widowed, I don't care what the situation is. There's not a man that's sitting in this room or outside of this room that doesn't like to get attention. If a woman pays you a compliment, innocent or not, you know, women are the ones that always think, oh my God, all I did was compliment her on her hair and she thinks I'm hitting on her, you know? It's like, dude, your hair look, or not dude, but, you know, dudess, you know? It's like, oh, so-and-so, your hair looks good today. And then all of a sudden, words going around, it's like, oh my God, I think he's hitting on me. I just said your hair looks nice. You ain't all that. I was just trying to be nice. But at the same time, now you get an understanding of that, because if a woman says something to you, all of a sudden, your mind starts racing, right? You sink in your stomach, I still got it, you know? I still got it. But your mind goes there. Tell me I'm wrong. Yeah, that's what I thought, you know? And let me tell you something. There is a time when you can become extremely weak, you know? Some of us weaker than others. Some of us easier than others. But the fact still remains is, that's how it works. You know, when those thoughts go through our heads, endorphins are released, and it's that hunt, it's that chase, it's that excitement. And all of a sudden, these things start going through your body, and you can't even explain how it is that you feel the way that you feel. Now, I'm not saying to put blinders on like you're a horse going down the track, okay? Because you have to learn how to deal with it, you know? I'm not telling you to walk every time you go outside your house, that you got to walk looking down at the street and not look around. But there is a growth. There is a maturity that happens, because you know, if you're a business person, you got to be able to deal with the opposite sex in business. You know, I told you guys, most of you know, I was in the car business for 20 years. The finance companies were not stupid. They were smart finance companies. They'd hire women to go out to the dealerships, to go to the Bing, you know, to go to the dealerships, to go, John, you know, to get the deals. You know, hi, how are you? Do you have any deals for us? And they're very provocatively dressed. They're young. They're good looking. They may even offer to take you to lunch or something like that. And sure, I flipped them a deal here and there, just because I was a nice guy. But I never gave in to, you want to go to lunch or anything like that, because it doesn't even look appropriate. You know, the Bible says avoid the appearance of evil, you know? And that's the last thing you want, is to have to explain to somebody why. It just doesn't look good. It may be innocent, but if it doesn't look good, even to others, then you shouldn't do it. But you understand what I'm saying. You have to be able to be in that position where you can be somewhere and have a conversation with somebody else of the opposite sex and not think they're tripping on you and you're not tripping on them and nothing's going on. They're just another person that you're having a conversation with. Make sure you keep eye contact, not, you know. I know that there's some of us out there that, you know, at one point in your life you've had, hello, I'm up here, my face is up here, right? Take your eyes off of my chest and start looking at and talking to me. That happen to anybody?